perfection. Well, not exactly, but close enough. Oh! Alright. Yeah. How that's going to do. Jeez, Ty. Never mind. Shoot. I mean, what did you do? Redo that. I screwed that up.
Sorry!
Good afternoon, Salem High School. Welcome back to the Salem Show from our Washington County Community Foundation studios at Salem High School. I'm your host, Abigail.
And I'm your other host, Kaylee.
Welcome to our superb 6th episode.
Abigail, aren't you so excited to get your tan on next week?
Yes, I actually can't wait, so I'm leaving today.
Yeah, we're already checked out of school, as you can tell from our outfits.
Yeah, we'll be going from PJs to bikinis soon, though. Now let's get on with the announcements.
The shooting club will be practicing at Sugar Creek in Mitchell on Saturday, March 26th at 11 a.m. Please see Mrs. Brewer for more information and to sign up. Enrollment forms must be turned in to shoot.
Southern Indiana Bait Company will be doing a fundraiser for Connor Anderson from now until April 10th. They will be donating 20% of sales to Connor and his family, and I'm wearing one of the shirts right now.
Mrs. Snyder is taking orders for athletic patches until the end of this week. All orders are due by Friday and must be paid in the time of ordering. Cost is $12.
Myth. Teenagers are too young to get addicted, but the fact is that addiction can happen at any age.
Even unborn children can get addicted because of their mother's drug use.
While each drug produces different physical effects, all abused substances share one thing in common. Repeated use can alter the way that the brain functions.
This includes commonly abused prescription medications as well as recreational drugs.
So please stay away from drugs.
Congratulations to the 2022 Youth Art Month March Madness Contest. This year's winner is Night by Russian artist Stanislav Boruslav. It was painted in 2009.
Thank you to all of those who participated. We can't wait to see what next year's March Madness will bring to us.
Remember, vending machines are off limits during school hours. If you need a snack, please go to the vending machines before the start of school or after school is let out for the day.
And just your yearly reminder about your Chromebook. Make sure when your Chromebook gets down to 5%, charge it.
Shut down your Chromebook completely to charge it. This will eliminate most issues in charging Chromebooks.
Winter is almost gone, but it still gets really cold at night. Make sure you're not leaving the Chromebooks out in the cold because this may harm their screens or interfere with connections.
Also, hopefully it'll start getting warmer, so don't leave those temperamental Chromebooks in your car when it gets hot either. Plastic melts.
Before we head over to weather, we had our gal pal Hannah roaming the hallway asking questions. Let's see what was on the minds of our students.
What are you excited for about track this year?
You go first or me too?
You can go first.
I'm excited to be first and second with Braden every hurdle match, so it's gonna be fun.
I'm excited to get into hurdles again and get back into shape.
What are you going to miss most about Salem High School?
Probably the people, just having a bunch of friends I could say you can count on.
Probably going to like the different events and like participating in everything and some of the teachers.
Hi, I'm Jacob Miller.
And then what are you most excited for this track season?
This track season, I am most excited to try breaking my freshman year PRs and to make new experiences with the team.
I'm Aiden Hacker, and I'm excited to win conference in track this year.
What are you going to miss most about Salem High School?
I'm going to miss all my friends and all of my teachers.
What are you most excited for this baseball season?
I'm as excited because I think we have a really good group of guys, and I think we have a good chance to making a good playoff push this year and probably winning our conference and just having a great season.
And then what are you going to miss most about Salem High School?
Just like the friendships and the relationships with like the coaches and the teachers and stuff that I've experienced over the past 4 years, and not seeing the people I grew up with every day.
How are you getting the athletes ready for their spring season?
Good. We are finishing up our last phase of our strength block, and we're getting ready to peak our athletes for their best performance in spring. I'm excited to see how the hard work they put over the last few months and how it translates through their sport in the spring.
Okay, Grant, what are you most excited for this track season?
I'm excited for long jump mostly, and the chance that our 4x1 team can possibly break the school record.
What are you excited for this baseball season?
I'm excited to play with all my buddies and have some fun in JV. Here's your 8-day forecast. Friday, we got to have 49 with the low of 33. It's also mostly cloudy on National Waffles Day today. Saturday, we got to have 46 with the low of 29, mostly sunny. And Sunday, we got to have 47 with the low of 29, mostly sunny. Monday, we got to have 51 with the low of 38, mostly sunny. Tuesday, we got to have 64 with the low of 48, 40% chance of rain. And also, happy Mom and Dad Business Day. Wednesday, we got to have 60 with a low of 42, 42% chance for rain. Thursday, we got to have 56 with a low of 41, 41% chance of rain in National Crayons Day. And Friday, we got to have 60 with a low of 45, mostly sunny. Now, let's throw it back to anchors.
Did you hear all that rumbling last Friday?
Oh yeah, I did. That was scary.
If you're not sure what we're talking about, an F1 tornado ripped through the county last Friday evening.
The tornado went right around 5.5 miles with a path through the Salem Square and the Becks Mill area.
The damage could be seen throughout social media and other news sources, but thankfully the damage was minimal.
As you can see, there was damage to buildings like the Lynx clothing and shoes, where they have their spring gear you need and so much more.
Anyways, the damage mostly uprooted trees and caused some other structural damage, but we did get lucky.
Yes, we did. Now twisting over to the road construction, State Road 56 project has begun.
Yay!
Yeah, right. But the project will take about 1.5 years to complete.
The $13.2 million reconstruction project will relocate utility lines, repave 1.5 miles of State Road 56, and fix up some other needed roads of the area.
This is a major thoroughfare through our town, so be careful and watch for detour signs.
Also, if you're going to Riley's place, please slow down. The weather is getting warmer and the kids are going outside to play, especially at the parks.
So take a little more time driving Market Street and enjoy the scenic route. Detour.
Now let's get into Monday Matters.
The thing is, sometimes you have to slow down to speed up. It may seem counterintuitive, so let's repeat it because it is that important. Sometimes you have to slow down to speed up.
Seems like an odd way to get energized, doesn't it? Imagine yourself to be like one of your devices. The more tabs, windows, or apps you have open, the harder the device has to work.
You have to use a lot more energy to keep all of those open apps running efficiently. Our bodies and brains operate like this too. The more apps that are open, the more energy our brain and body needs to keep working efficiently.
In reality, we can only keep burning energy at that level for so long. If we close some of those apps, evaluate and pause for a moment, we can actually re-energize ourselves.
So, this week, let's be thoughtful, mindful, and purposeful. Let's close some of those tabs and swipe up on those apps. Let's decelerate and slow down.
Give yourself permission to do one less thing so that later on you have energy for all the things that really matter. This is why breathing it in matters.
That's all we have for Monday Matters. Now let's hop over to The Shields for an extra long sports minute.
Thanks, Abigail and Kaylee. Since spring has officially sprung, we move into baseball, softball, and tennis season. The first home baseball game is April 5th versus West Washington. For softball, it will be April 6th versus Lanesville. And finally, for tennis, their first home match is April 14th versus Paoli. The Lions Unified game was a huge success. We raised a total of $2,882. Connor and the Special Olympics each got $1,041. On top of that, there was a $500 check given directly to the Special Olympics. And I heard a certain someone who is also the sports anchor got on the dance floor. In the esports world, Davern had a chance to sit down with Coach Lauder and talk to him about some topics such as how the club started and how the program has grown.
Hi, Davern Ross here. Today we have something very special. We've had a very amazing chance to talk to Coach Lauder, who runs the esports program. I think it's very interesting, and I hope you all like it, so please, enjoy. Let's get started with the interviewing.
Salem High School Esports is part of the Indiana High School Salem Esports Network. They host competitions that are community-focused events, open to participants of all Indiana schools. They believe that esports should be well supported, not just sitting around and playing video games. And that's why they have created their competition. It's more than just video games.
Esports started 2019 under J.D. Wade Swift. Coach Lauder assisted Swift, and over time he kept the ball rolling and now runs esports. And he is now on their third year of esports. Why are you interested in esports?
social aspect more than anything. Meet new people, gamers alike. Same with my students here. It's a way for people to like the same things, hobbies, to come together and meet.
Why do you think esports is good for students' mental and or physical health?
Mentally, I would say to kind of bring them out of a shell. If they're shy, kind of introduce them to more people and people with the same likes. Physically, just get them out and give them something to do after school.
Why have you started to expand throughout the school program?
Hopefully to reach more students and build the program and actually get out and be able to go to like other schools and participate with them, and maybe even have them come participate with us.
Have you had a lot of students join esports?
We've grown to about 15 students that have signed up this year. Also with the anticipation of 8th graders that are interested and coming into the freshman year next year.
Are the students that join happy with esports?
I believe so. I think right now it's kind of overwhelming. There's a lot that we've done to get to this point and a lot that we're still learning, and also the commitment, just being able to, accept the commitment and build as a team and grow as a team.
How long do you hope for this program to continue?
I hope the program goes on forever, and I can actually see that esports continuing maybe into a full-time classroom sometime in the future.
What games do you have for the students that join esports?
Right now we have Rocket League to participate in, Valorant, Overwatch, Halo, Rainbow Six Siege, and some website-based games like Tetris, chess, and a few others.
Do you plan on getting more games for esports, or are you happy with the games you have?
Oh, definitely. I'd love to grow and be able to have the kids play more different games that they like, and some that they don't care to play, but it's kind of nice to introduce them to games that they haven't even played. So yeah, to actually grow and play more games.
Do you think the students are satisfied with the amount of games and the quality of them?
I think they are. Like I said before, there are games that they do like to play and some that they haven't even touched, and kind of learning from that and kind of broadening their horizon on seeing the different types of games that are out there is kind of interesting.
Do you have anything else to add?
Just that we try to treat esports like any sport. Grades is a must, keep the grades up. Attendance is a must. Be here for school so you can be here for club, and practice good sportsmanship. Treat your teammates well when you're competing and playing with them, and also treat other teams the same way as if they were your friends and gamers alike. So.
Again, thank you, Coach Louder, for meeting with us today. This is Davern, and let's get back to the studio.
Okay, thank you, Davern.
The boys basketball IHSAA state tournament is this Saturday. Providence is in the finals, and this is the first time that all matchups will be religious schools versus public schools. Session 1 will feature Class A state championship at 10:30, and will have North Davies, which is 26-3, versus Lafayette Central Catholic, 20-9. The 2A state championship will tip off at approximately 12:45 p.m. and will have Providence, 20-6, versus Central Noble, 28-2. Session 2 will feature Class 3A state champion at 6 p.m. and will have Beech Grove, 21-6, versus Mishawaka Marion, 24-3. And then the final game is the Class 4A state championship. It will tip off at approximately 8:15 p.m. and will have Indianapolis Cathedral, 25-6, versus Chesterton, 29-0. Good luck to all teams. Now for some national sports news. Tom Brady is back. He announced that he is unretiring, so Tampa is celebrating again. I know some of you will cheer at this news, and some of you, Colts fans, like myself, will groan. Anyway, we wish him luck. We have officially entered the best time of the year. No, it's not Christmas, it's March Madness. There have already been some major upsets. Let's get down to business. Notre Dame won a thriller versus Rutgers in double overtime, 89-87. Tennessee won versus Longwood, 88-56. St. Peter's upset Kentucky, 85-79. in overtime. And North Carolina beat the 2021 national champions, the Baylor Bears, 93-86 in overtime. Villanova beat Ohio State, 91-61. And Coach K continues his run with an 85-76 win over Michigan State. Purdue won by 10 versus Texas, 81-71. Miami upset Auburn, 79-61. And Arizona won a thriller versus TCU, 85-80 in overtime. Now for the women's side. For the first time in the women's tournament, it is a field of 68. The women also get to use the same March Madness branding and logo for the first time. Now for some scores. Tennessee won against Buffalo, 80-67. They also won a nail-biter versus Belmont, 70-67. This marks the first time that they have advanced to the Sweet 16 since 2016. Indiana handily beat Charlotte, 85-51. Princeton upset Kentucky, 69-62. South Dakota upset Baylor, 61-47. And Ohio State won against Missouri State, 63-56. That's all for me. Let's go to Draven for some skate news.
Hey guys, I decided to do something a little different this week. Instead of talking about current events, I'm going to give a short history lesson on where skating comes from. So, in the late 1930s to the early 1950s, people had these scooters with crates on the front called crate scooters. Then, somewhere in the 1950s, there's no documentation, but surfers started ripping the crates off and founded street surfing. This would be the birth of the modern day hobby. What intrigues me about this is there's no real documentation on who did it first. Who knows, it could have possibly been Marty McFly when he borrowed that kid's crate scooter, but the person who made the first skateboard is truly lost to history. That's all for me this week. Let's go surf over to your anchors for some trivia. Thanks, Shields, for that Sports Minute, and Draven for the Skater News.
Now we have some fun trivia for you today. Thanks to Mason for providing these fun trivia questions. They all have a theme that we can get behind.
Starting off with question 1. James Naismith was a physical education teacher in the early 1900s, but was most notable for being the inventor of basketball. Where was he born?
Question number 2. The NCAA men's basketball tournament, most commonly known as March Madness, was first hosted in 1939 in Patton Gymnasium on the Northwestern University campus in Evanston, Illinois. Who played in this game and who won?
Question 3. The original rules of basketball were published in 1892 with how many rules?
Now let's wrap up the show.
Wait, there's more.
There is?
Of course there is, and you were there. Roll the tape or whatever you say now with digital media.
Hi everyone, and welcome to our new segment on the Salem Show where we try different snacks. This week we are trying different snack cakes.
Kind of excited about this one, not gonna lie.
We will be rating these snack cakes on 4 different categories.
These categories include moisture, flavor, looks, and the nostalgia factor.
Let's get right into it.
So we are going to start off with Banana Twins.
So you can just like pass it down the line.
So we're gonna divide these up and we're all just gonna take one bite and then we're all gonna rate it in order and just say a couple thoughts about it. Alright, ready?
What are your thoughts, Macy?
So I've never really been much of a banana girly, so I am going to rate this one a 5 out of 10. I'm not really feeling it. It's a little dry, just not my favorite.
I, too, am not a banana person, so I'll give this, how about a 1 out of 10?
You know what? I strongly disagree. I think these are pretty darn good, so I'm going to give them a solid 6 out of 10.
I'm not a huge banana fan, but I don't mind it. You know, I was really surprised by the filling in the middle. It was really good. I'll give it a 5 out of 10.
As well as Kaylee, I'm not a banana person, but those were surprisingly good, so I'm going to give it a 6. I really liked the spongy outside.
Alright, let's move on to our next snack cake. Next will be the chocolate cupcakes.
Classics. Here we go. These have a little filling in the middle, as well as swirls on the outside.
Chocolatey goodness.
Chocolatey goodness, yes.
All right, Macy, start us
Alright,
off.
wait, I have to take a bite.
Well, I just found a hair in mine, so that that knocks off a point. Other than the hair in my snack, this is really good. The filling on the inside just really warms my mouth, and I really like this one. So I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10.
You got it, Shields.
You're up, Shields.
All right, I'll give this an 8 out of 10. I like the chocolate. Could be a little more chocolatey.
All right, I'm not a chocolate gal. These are dry. These are boring. They're bland. Solid, maybe like 1.5 out of 10.
Whoa.
I know.
Wow.
I know.
Whoa.
But big
That's-
nostalgia factor. I've eaten these a lot growing up, and I think that's why I'm so burnt out, and I don't like them.
Personally, not bad. You know, for a packaged cupcake, I mean, it's giving what it needs to give. It's a little dry, but the filling is really nice, and the frosting on top is just chef's kiss. I'm going to give this a 7.5 out of 10.
I'm gonna give this a 3. I'm not a fan of cupcakes. They're not bad. It's just there's so many different options that you could choose, and you, like Abigail said, the boring cupcake. It's dry. It's not giving.
No.
There we go.
No, it's not.
All right, and for our next one, we have a classic, Cosmic Brownies.
Just keep it. I love cosmic brownies.
This one makes me so nervous. It's either going to slap or I'm
You know
going to
what?
vomit.
Hit or miss. Hit or
Right,
miss.
that's a...
That's why we're doing them in the beginning, so that we're not sick of them.
Oh.
All right, here we go.
Mmm.
Mm.
Mmm.
I'm gonna say it. Never really been a Cosmic Brownie fan. Even when I was little, never really been a fan. But there are times when I am just craving this chocolate treat, and these hit, like, so nicely. But right now they're not hitting. So I'm gonna have to give this a solid 5 out of 10. It's just not there for me.
All right, I've eaten too many of these in the last goodness knows how long, so I'm a little bit burnt out. So we'll give this a 6 out of 10.
Not giving. Not good. I had like 3 sprinkles, maybe. So, maybe like a 2. A 2. A 2. Frosting was hard. Did not like it.
This is definitely a treat for children. As your palate develops, you just realize how bad these kind of suck. I mean, the flavor at first bite is immaculate, but the more you chew, you realize it has the same consistency as Play-Doh. So the flavor is there, but the consistency and the texture is just not it for me. I'm going to have to give this a 3 at the max.
I must have some pretty childish taste buds, Kaylee. I love cosmic brownies. There's just something about them that just make my day. And when I see a cosmic brownie in my lunchbox, I'm like, it's gonna be a good day. But it's not my favorite, so I'm only gonna give it like a 6.5. But I think they're good. I think they're a good snack.
Okay, and now we're going to move on to our next one, which is not a super common one, but we were excited to see the Raspberry Zingers.
I have never tried a raspberry zinger.
I actually have not either. I've never had
either.
any kind of zinger.
I haven't either.
This
So
is
here we
my
go.
reaction.
Yeah.
I'm kind of disappointed that we have the raspberry ones because I love the vanilla ones, but I've had these before and they're not bad.
Very
You can
soft.
find all of these at your local Walmart.
All right, everyone. Is it coconut on top?
I think so.
That's what it tastes like.
It is.
I'm rating this like a 2 out of 10. Not a fan. Yeah, I'm not gonna say the word, but that is not lacking. The M word is not lacking. But
Moist.
it's
Moist.
just
Yes, it's moist, but it's fine.
it's I don't know. The flavors don't clash well. Raspberry and coconut, I just don't think it goes well together. This is just not it for me.
Okay, I'm going to give this a 3 out of 10. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but there's much better snack cakes out there.
I agree with that, Abby. This is a pretty. It did better than I honestly thought that it would. So just for the fruity goodness, I'm gonna give it a 5.
I really like it. It's not okay. Whenever I want a zinger, I want the vanilla with the hard icing on top. This is pretty much like a Twinkie covered in coconut, is the way I see it. But you know, it's really moist. The filling is really good, so I'm gonna give this a 6.
You know, I really liked the coconut. I'm a coconut gal. I love Almond Joys, so I've never had this, and it thoroughly impressed me. So I'm gonna have to give it a 7.
Okay, and next is probably one of your favorites. We have Twinkies. I don't think you can go wrong with the Twinkie. I love these.
I am thoroughly excited.
All
They
right.
better not let me down.
They're so soft. Unless you get a hard Twinkie. For some reason, they're hard batches and you just bite into it. Or they're stale. Stale Twinkies are the worst.
Praying for
I
nice.
just feel like these are a safe go.
Here
Like,
we
you
go.
just can't go wrong.
I haven't had one of these in so long.
I don't know if there's just something wrong with me today, but none of these are hitting. I've never liked Twinkies, ever. Honestly, I think they're kind of gross. So, I'm giving this probably a 1 out of 10 because I just hate Twinkies. So, just the word Twinkie is just gross, I think.
Macy, how could you? On the other hand, I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10. Twinkies have been around for who knows how long. Most of you all, if not all, have tried these and love them. So, 10 out of 10.
Yes, I agree with that. This is very, very spongy, very soft. Definitely not a hard batch. These are pretty good. As you can, I don't even know if you can see, but they are jam-packed with filling and it's amazing. So this is a 8 out of 10 for me.
You know, I think Twinkies cover every box. They're nice and moist. They have good flavor. They're cute. They got the presentation, and of course, they have the nostalgia factor. Everybody grows up eating Twinkies. If you don't, then you're just missing out on childhood. So you know, I'm gonna give this one an 8.5 out of 10. I mean, you can't go wrong with a Twinkie.
I'm gonna give my Twinkie rating an 8. There's our Twinkie right there. Just cause, I don't know, sometimes they're like really moist, and sometimes they're really not. And today, my bite might have just not been that great because I had an end, but I don't know, it's good.
Okay, now moving on from the Twinkies, we have unicorn cakes. I'm pretty sure these are pretty new. I don't think they've been out for that long, but they make all kinds of little snacks like this. So
I don't think I've ever tried
I've never
a
had this
cake.
before.
Yeah, I haven't
Big
either.
girl.
Oh shoot, I was gonna take it, but I was like,
These are actually aren't that bad. The only problem I have with this is it's a bit too sweet. There's just, sugar's a little overpowering, but that makes sense because it's a unicorn cake, I guess. I'm not sure. But I'm giving this a 7 out of 10. I could eat a whole one.
Okay. What are you saying, Macy? I'm giving this a 2 out of 10. The flavors don't go together. I don't know what this is. I get it's new, but needs some major improvements.
Alright, so I think that this unicorn cake is everything that it is supposed to be. I see it on the package and that's exactly what I tasted. It was lots of flavors, lots of sweetness, sparkly wonderfulness. I'm not sure about a nostalgia factor because I feel like these are newer. I've never had these when I was growing up, but A+ for right now. I think maybe a 6.
Not a fan. I don't know if you guys picked up on this, but I tasted kind of like a watermelon-y flavor. I don't want watermelon in my snack cakes.
No.
Too sweet. Didn't like the icing. Wasn't feeling the sprinkles either. I don't know. Something about it just made my tummy hurt. It's too sweet. So I'm going to give this a 1 out of 10.
I'm going to give mine a 3 out of 10, and it's not because I didn't like it. It was very sweet, like everybody else has said. But it gets more points because I think when little girls see unicorn cakes, that's everything that they would expect. So I like the idea of the packaging and the execution on the presentation of the actual cake itself. But for me, I would not choose that first over anything else that we have tried.
Okay, next, one of my favorites, coffee cakes.
I've never tried a coffee cake.
I haven't either.
They're so good.
How have you
Kinda looks
guys
like a
never
cinnamon
had a
roll.
coffee
I
cake?
feel like I would like this one because
I'm
I love
excited.
cinnamon stuff.
I cannot.
I
How
think
do you-
if you want a sophisticated snack cake, a coffee cake, like this is like an old person snack cake.
They
Kind
smell
of.
good. They smell
Which
really good.
I'll say kind of fits me.
Oh my.
That was awesome.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to say I'm very disappointed. I took a bite out of this coffee cake and I'm tasting absolutely no coffee in it. Is it a coffee cake?
It's not supposed to taste like coffee.
Then why is it called a
'Cause
coffee
you eat
cake?
it with your
Because
coffee.
you have this and then you have your cup of coffee with it.
Okay, well
And you
that's
dip it in the coffee.
absolutely the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
A little misleading.
I take completely misleading. I take a bite out of this and I taste a dry cinnamon roll. Like literally a 0 out of 10 because I was expecting a coffee taste.
Okay, Macy. You're done. Get out. You're insane. This gets a major 10 out of 10. Now, where's my coffee? That's all.
That's the question.
Valid. Okay, so this was amazing. So definitely sophisticated. I can't see little kids eating this. But the little granules of sugar really just hopped through. I loved that. Texture 1,000 out of 10. And for that, this cake gets a 9 out of 10 for me.
I mean, I have to agree with all of that. I mean, I think they could be a little more moist than what they were, but the sugar on top, the flavor overall, the presentation, they're just so nice and sweet and cute. I mean, obviously don't have the nostalgia factor, because like I said, like a lot of little kids aren't going to eat this. So I'm going to have to go ahead and give it a 9.5 out of 10.
I'm gonna have to give it a 9.5 too. I love them. I am a cinnamon gal, and just the cinnamon just made it for me. And as an 18-year-old, I don't want the super sweet, like sparkly, crazy things. And that was it for me. So 9.5.
All right, our next one is also a classic. We have ding dongs.
Ooh, big nostalgia factor here.
I swear I ate one of these every single day of 8th grade, so the thought of eating one kind of makes me want to barf, but we're going to choke it down.
I think I had one of these at a birthday party not too long ago.
I haven't had one in a very long time.
I think I had one for lunch yesterday.
Natalie always has
Nice.
ding dongs in her lunch.
I don't know, it's just what my mom buys, so I'm not really a big fan, but they're kind of good.
I love ding dongs. The filling on the inside is just the perfect combination, and it just puts everything together, I think, and it just leaves my mouth feeling good. I don't know how to describe that feeling, but it's really good, so I'm gonna have to give this a 10 out of 10.
Okay, I'm giving this a 9.5 out of 10. Definitely more chocolate, which is very nice, and the cream adds a nice touch too.
Okay, well, I think these are so similar to the chocolate cupcakes, and I think those are better than the ding dongs. So I think that just outweighs this situation. Like I said before, I don't like chocolate. It's just not for me, so I'm gonna go with the 2.5.
This is just a reconstructed chocolate cupcake. Same flavor, same concept, same filling. However, I'm going to rate this one a little bit higher. I think they are a little more moist than the cupcakes or the ones that we had. And they have major nostalgia factor for me because, like I said, I used to eat these all the time. So I'm going to give this a 4.5 out of 10.
I think I agree with the whole reconstructed cupcake thing. I do think they're better than the cupcakes. I like them better. The coating on the outside is a lot better than the chocolate on the top of the cupcake. And I like the filling. I feel like there's more of it. But I'm going to have to give it a 5.5. Not that I dislike it, just not my fave.
Okay.
All right.
And up next, we have fancy cakes. These remind me of my grandma's house, not going to lie. But
I love fancy cakes.
I do too.
Everything vanilla. This is
I've
definitely my
actually,
kind of cake.
I love fancy cakes and I love my grandma.
I've actually never tried fancy cakes, so I'm kind of
Which
excited.
surprises me because they're more of a grandma cake.
Wow, Abigail.
Macy, what?
Leave the door.
It's not very inward. I do love vanilla. Like, don't get me wrong, vanilla I think is one of the best flavors out there, but this is just boring to me. I don't like it, and I'm just gonna give it a 3 out of 10.
Okay, major disappointment right here, not gonna lie. So, this is gonna be probably a 1 out of 10. It's super dry.
Well, these are one of my favorites, so probably a 10 out of 10. I'm saving. I know that this last cake is gonna take the cake for me, so I'm just gonna reserve my ratings for 10 out of 10. And I think they definitely weren't as moist as they should be. Sorry. But yeah, big nostalgia factor. Solid 10 out of 10.
I feel like you can't hate fancy cakes. I mean, I think they give what they need to give. They are very spongy, not a very moist cake. And, you know, I love that processed, borderline gross icing on the outside. Like, it's covered in it, and it hits. It hits so hard. These aren't the best cakes I've tried today, so I'm going to give them a 7.5 out of 10.
I'm going to give the fancy cakes a 6. And I like fancy cakes. They're not my first choice. But, you know, after, like, a lunch at your grandma's house, like, where you eat some corn dogs, and you're like, I need something sweet to wash it down. And you're like, you know what? Fancy white cake.
Corn dogs and fancy cake.
I don't think I've ever had that thought in my entire lifetime, but
that's because you don't
you
like
do
corn
you.
dogs.
You
Wow,
do you.
wow, Nat. Just, okay.
Okay, moving on from corn dogs and fancy cakes. Last cake. Maybe the best for last.
I do.
I've never tried
Arguably 100%.
Oh
I
my
know.
gosh!
Strawberry.
A -1. Another hair in my cake.
That's not Little Debbie's fault. That's definitely my fault.
I was about to say, Kaylee definitely just
I'm taking
laid
the
in
big
cake.
mama.
Debbie's a queen.
I don't care.
I'm nervous.
So
These
These are the best.
They have like a little coat of icing on the very bottom, and that just kind of.
They smell so
They're
good.
so structurally sound.
All right.
It's great.
These are, I'm not gonna say truly the best because how am I gonna put this? I do like this style, but not these flavors. I do like I don't know what I'm trying to say. This is really good, but it's not the best. I used to eat these all the time when I was a kid, so nostalgia factor is through the roof with these, and the flavors are just really well together. I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10.
Alright, I'm giving this a 9.5 out of 10. It's really good, but nothing tops the Twinkie.
Well, contrary to my previous belief, I thought this would be through the roof, but it was not. I don't know why. There was too much jelly, strawberry filling. I was kind of disappointed. That sucks. Anyways, maybe a 9 out of 10. But it's very moist, very spongy, all my favorite things. Just too much fruity flavor.
No, these are not the strawberry shortcake rolls I remember. because the ones I ate were a lot better than that. I fought for that one, and I'm disappointed in myself now. They're good, though. I mean, the cake is good, the filling's good. The strawberry jam kind of burned my throat because it was very acidic. I don't know if we got a bad batch or what, but these
Check the expiration date.
these are not what I remember.
That's a big word for you, Kaylee.
I am going to have to give this a 4.
Oh, I give it a 9. No, 8.5.
Recently, we were making artificial flavors in chemistry, and strawberry was one of the ones that was made. And this is what that nasty strawberry, alcohol-y, artificial flavoring tastes like.
Disgusting.
It just wasn't it for me. And it was dry. Too much jam.
Perhaps.
Just unacceptable. How's that for?
Just unacceptable.
How about that?
Well,
Okay, that was the last of our snack cakes. So now we are going to go down and share with you what our favorite was.
a little recap.
And what our least favorite was.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to say the strawberry shortcake was my favorite. I know y'all will disagree, but I've loved that snack cake since I was little, and it was still there for me. I don't know what happened to y'all's, but it was there for me. So that one was my favorite. I'm having trouble deciding between the Twinkie and the raspberry thingy, if that was my least favorite. But I'm gonna say the Twinkie, because Twinkies are just so gross.
All right, Macy. Again, explain your thoughts on that, but whatever. So, my favorite would definitely have to be the Twinkie. My least favorite is definitely the unicorn cake. Those flavors don't go together.
Okay. I think my favorite was probably the coffee cake, just because I had actually never had it before, and it really surprised me. So I loved that, loved the texture, loved the flavor. That was great. I think my least favorite was the ding dong. I know. It was just not doing it for me today. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's okay.
My favorite would have to be the coffee cake. I think it's just so good and so different compared to everything else. And then my least favorite would have to be the unicorn cake. I thought it was pretty gross.
Agreed.
My favorite, as well, coffee cake, takes the cake. And then my least favorite was the cupcake, because today she was not giving. Not that it's like the most rancid thing I've ever had, but I just don't like it.
All right, now that we all have belly aches and toothaches, we are going to get out of here. But we will see you guys next time, and stay tuned to see what we try next.
I think I'm finally over being so full from those snack cakes.
Me too, but I want more.
It may have been a bad idea to do that segment right before spring break, though.
Yeah, not the smartest move, but I don't think I have any regrets.
How about we do another one real soon? Leave a comment below on what we should try next.
Anyways, thank you for tuning into the Salem Show from the Washington County Community Foundation Studios.
That concludes our 6th episode of this semester. As the show winds down, we would like to remind everyone watching to like and subscribe to our account and streaming channels.
Also, don't forget to check out our other social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and our new edition of TikTok.
On these apps, you can view an array of videos and updates about our Salem Lions News Network.
Another app that I've been glancing at a lot lately is the weather app to monitor how my Florida trip will go.
Yes, hopefully we don't get any rain. And just a reminder to be safe and make good decisions on spring break.
Have a great gold-blooded weekend, Lions.
No. Shields. Mic check. Testing 1 2 testing. Testing 1 2 testing.
My name is Kaylee, and my other host is this random crackhead I found on the side of the road.
Good afternoon, Salem High School. Welcome to the Salem Show from our Washington County Community Foundation studios at Salem High School. I'm your host, Abigail.
Okay, we're good. Wait, is Shields gonna start it?
So, how soon after high school do you plan on getting married? I'm just kidding. Okay.
Right after that.
We're married already.
Yeah.
True. Okay, ready?
That was funny. Ready?
March Madness contest.
March! Sounds so... Hannah? Thanks for that 1 minute in the hallway segment, Hannah! I will, but let me get my smile off my face because I'll start laughing. Oh, yeah, I got it. Throw it back.
After spring break, join us for our next show on our part 2 of the Snap Cake.
Okay, what are the 4 categories?
And I really liked the moistness.
Moisture, looks.
She groans as we say that.